This is from the AITA subreddit and is titled, Am I the Astronaut for Sacrificing My Daughter's College Fund Because Her Sister Just Gave Birth to Her 4th Child? Oh, damn. My 48 female, older daughter, 24 female, gave birth to her 4th child 6 months ago. She used to work as a dishwasher, but due to health issues stemming from her 2nd child, chronic back pain, and then her 3rd child, after effects of broken tailbone and more chronic pain that made standing and moving around hard, she can no longer work. She tried her best getting an office temp job, but after about a week, the woman supervising her said this isn't working out. She was a very uptight woman who claims just because always took her 3 days max to train everybody else to the data entry work that she can't just be a good person and accommodate slower learners. That woman likely caused her to get a bad reputation at the temp agency and she didn't get hired elsewhere. My daughter's boyfriend, 28 male, works at Walmart. He had much more hours when she was pregnant, but since then his hours have ebbed and flowed. He said he will take a day in the future to look for jobs, but it's the holidays and he's busy with family. I feel a lot of empathy for my daughter and her boyfriend, and I wish I could help them out more, but I myself am a single mom working for a nursing home where I struggle to get full-time hours, and my ex ran up a lot of debt in both of our names and is now living in another country. Oh, damn. Here. My parting gift is a whole lot of debt. Deuces. My younger daughter, 17 female, has a college fund. The amount in it would be enough to pay a large amount of a 2-year community college tuition, given the scholarships/grants she would likely get. She's applied to 4-year universities with the understanding that she'd be taking out loans and working, so she's deciding between 4 years and community college. The other shoe dropped after my older daughter's landlord found out that they were having her boyfriend's brother and girlfriend living in their 1-bedroom in exchange for them helping with the rent, and they got evicted. My daughter agrees it was wrong to lie to the landlord, and both parents are depressed because her boyfriend got a job offer 1 state away and they would have to move from their support network. They came to me asking for help so they could have more time to find financial stability here. I was torn, but seeing my grandkids, I knew my duty was to care for the most vulnerable in the family. So I will be making calls to liquidate my daughter's college fund, saying yes to understanding the penalties, and told my daughter this. She got very cold and said, "You always brag about having a good memory. I hope you remember this moment then." She's not spoken to me since. Spent Thanksgiving inquiring out with family friends to see if hospitals are keen to hire college students for kitchen or reception or anything. Made some cryptic post about how she hopes she'll be grateful one day that she won't have the privilege of studying anything outside of something technical because she needs something where she'll always be able to find a job in. Am I the astronaut? Okay, so the question here is, am I the astronaut for sacrificing my daughter's college fund because her sister just gave birth to her 4th child here? Okay, so tell me this, Tony Spark, what about this fires you up?
Well, I think it's ridiculous that the younger daughter is having to pay, she's the one really that is being punished for everything that is going on with her sister. And it's unfortunate that all that stuff's happening with her older sister. But at the same time, you need to be a responsible grown ass adult. And at some point, mom needs to be like, I'm sorry, there's only so much I can do, because now you're altering the entire course of your younger daughter's life because you're taking away what is there for her and what is her college fund. And she just said that she only has to study. Now she has to get into a job that she may not want because she has to study this to make sure she can always have a job instead of go to the university that she wanted to and study what she wants. So it's pretty ridiculous.
I feel like the other side of this coin is OP and parents in general are not obligated to pay for college for their children. That's not an obligation. Mine didn't. I understand that there was a fund that was designated and earmarked for this here, and that's where it becomes tricky. There was daughter knew that this existed. This was, and OP doesn't earn a lot of money, it sounds like. So she had chipped away at this and built it up to a certain amount of time, and she knew that this money was earmarked for her. But this is where it gets tricky because she had this set aside for her daughter. Now, yes, she is enabling her daughter that is in the situation that she's in is not going to fix that situation. It's a Band-Aid. It's a Band-Aid. That's all it is. It is not going to break the cycle that her other daughter is in. It is not going to save them for anything. And if you're looking at this as an investment, yes, it makes way more sense to stick it where it was in the first place and apply it to the younger daughter's college education, because that's going to have way more impact on her life. It is not going to change your older daughter's life. It is not going to break the cycle. If there is a pool of money set aside there and it ends up getting used for somebody else, again, I don't think parents have an obligation to pay for anybody's college. So at the end of the day, it is OP's money to decide what to do with. The fact that it was diverted from her daughter sucks, and I think it is an unwise decision. It is not the right decision. It's not the smart decision. It's not the one that's going to actually impact anything or cause any kind of great change, because it's not going to break the cycle. But at the end of the day, it is her money that she gets to decide what to do with. Now, the fact that the way that younger daughter behaves here and the way that this all kind of plays out, it seems like, she was promised this. She knew that this existed, and she didn't even consult with her ahead of time. She just said that she was going to do it. She just ripped it away from her. And that sucks. There was no conversation here. There was no involving the daughter to say, hey, I feel like we should do this. Are you in agreement? She wasn't part of the discussion at all. OP acted like it was just her money and went ahead and diverted it, even though she had already earmarked it and promised it to the younger daughter. That's the part where this sucks and where OP becomes an asshole for it. Also because it's an unwise investment and it's not going to break the cycle. But I understand if I were a grandparent looking at my grandkids who are getting ready to be homeless, and there was a bucket of money sitting here that would help another child advance further. I mean, I understand the quandary that she's in here. I understand the pickle. And the question here is, am I the astronaut for sacrificing my daughter's college fund because her sister just gave birth to her fourth child? I mean, even the way that it's stated here, OP knows that it's wrong. She knows that it's wrong, but she was forced to choose between preventing her grandchildren from being homeless or paying for a portion of her youngest daughter's college fund. Still an asshole for it, but I understand the Kobayashi Maru that she was stuck in. So where would you put her? Hi, Candy Thunder. How you doing there? The team is strongly disagreeing with everything that I'm saying right now, because I didn't just get flamed up and call her an ASCON wand and run it into the ground. But it's not a simple situation. I mean, yes, she made the wrong decision, and yes, she's an asshole for it. But she was making a decision between seeing her grandbabies be homeless or sending one child partially, covering a portion of college.
Yeah. So I strongly disagree with what he's saying, because I think the mom could have actually just set in motion for her younger daughter what's happening to her older daughter.
Sure.
Because she took away the money that she could have had to go to college and have a better life, but she taught her daughter that all you have to do is pop out kids. This girl is 24. She has 4 kids. She's probably going to have another kid. And she just taught her. Oh, no, and I don't think that they should be homeless. Bring them into your home, put them under your roof, do what you need to do. But don't give away the money that you have earmarked for a different child to another child. Tony said she should split the money or do something, but it feels like you're rewarding bad behavior at this point. And no, there are things, the older daughter with the 4 kids, there are things set up. She could try to get her life turned around, but it doesn't seem like she's trying. She wants to be bailed out. Get on birth control, first of all. Stop having kids if you cannot afford to have kids. That is the bottom line. And quit looking for a hand out and get a hand up. Help yourself out of the hole. She doesn't want to help herself out of the hole. She just wants a Band-Aid so she can go on living the life the way that she's been living it. You would draw the line, and you would draw a hard line in the sand. You would not support that.
I don't think it's the wrong choice, but I think you also have to empathize with the choice that she's having to make here, because she's thinking about her grandchildren. She's not thinking about her daughter.
Agreed.
She's thinking about her grandchildren.
But in this moment, she put her grandkids before her youngest child, and you cannot do that. She is still raising that child. That is still her priority, and it needs to be her priority. Your grandkids don't need... The mom should be handling that part of it, but she's making OP become a mom to these kids. She's making OP provide for her kids that she's having.
Sure. I agree with everything that you guys are saying. I just don't think that we can make OP like an ASCON 1 for it. I don't feel like it's a malicious thing to do. It is the wrong move.
I think
it's
she's
stupid.
She's stuck between her, like you said, Kobayashi Maru.
Yeah.
Rock in a hard place, but she's a 2 because
I agree with this.
Had a college fund. If the older daughter had a college fund and she burned through it, not at college, then that would her life is on her.
Even if she didn't, the circumstances of what's going on here puts OP in an ASCON 2 territory, because...
Hold on, though. It's not saying that they're necessarily going to be homeless. The boyfriend had an opportunity to get a job somewhere else. They would just have to be moving away, and they would lose the crutch of her mother, as I'm assuming the support of this. And yes, you're moving away from your support network, but it's not like he wouldn't have a job. He got offered a job in another state, and they didn't want to move away from there. So that's why they're asking mom to help out with this, because she doesn't want her to be homeless.
Well, the other side of it is putting myself in OP's position. That is also my grandkids moving a state away that she's diverting someone else's money to do. And I understand that. And it doesn't make it right. But I think you do have to try to see through her eyes.
And you also, though, but like Candy said, I think you also have that obligation to your daughter first before your grandkids. Maybe that's just me, but you're still raising that child. She's still a child. And you're choosing the grandkids over your child in this situation.
I agree. She's an ASCON too. She definitely should not have done this. It wasn't the wise move, but I empathize with her.